When you make these materials, you're going to want to use them again next year in your course. You might also want to be sharing with other teachers. It's a very smart idea, if you can, to divide and conquer. Instead of everyone making an addition assignment, one person can make an addition assignment while someone else is doing a grammar assignment and someone else is doing a reading assignment, and so on. So the way that we get everyone access to those documents or those assignments is through the Canvas Commons, which is where we can put everything to share. So here I'm in modules, and I can decide to either share my entire module. So a module is more or less like a binder for a unit or a category. So here I have different ELA things. So if I want to move that whole module, I can click Share to Commons here. But I also might want to, maybe I just want to share a quiz. So I could do the same thing here. So in this case, I will go and Share to Commons here by clicking on that gear. And then it's going to ask me some questions. So who can use this resource? The default is just you. So if this is something no one else is going to see, you can just move on. If this is something, though, that you are sharing with your colleagues, you're going to click All of Delaware Community School District. Unless you have 100% made all of this on your own, please don't click Public, because we don't want to inadvertently violate copyright. For example, if there's something from our textbook that we are using, we paid for the textbook, we can use it. But other people who are using Canvas haven't necessarily paid for that same textbook, so we don't want to make those available and accidentally violate copyright laws. You can change the license. I just leave mine default as copyright. You can change your station name or leave it the same. So maybe here I just want to call it ELA Rotation. Add a description. Again, when this is just for us, I don't think we necessarily need a whole lot of description because we know exactly what we're looking for, but they do require you to have one. They've got this little red asterisk that tells us it's required. So I'm just going to type ELA Rotation again. We need to have tags. Sometimes they require that, sometimes they don't. You'll know if you need to based on, do you have the red asterisk? Those are meant for making things easier to search. So if you and your colleagues are going to be uploading a whole lot of stuff, this might be helpful. But in general, I just search by someone's name, and that helps too. But here, I've got possessive nouns, I've got grammar. So anything that you want here, these are kind of keywords that you'd use. Canvas also makes us put up an image. They're connected to Flickr. So they're going to connect to random things. I'm not really sure why these are things that come up for possessive nouns. These aren't things that kids are going to see. Really, only the teachers see this, so it doesn't matter so much what you pick. And then you can choose grade levels again. If it's just for you, I probably wouldn't mess with this. If it's something that your whole grade level's using, then maybe you want to indicate it's just for that grade level. You can also drag it, so maybe this is something that could be used in a few grade levels. And while you probably have gone through and figured out what standards this addresses, I probably would not recommend adding those different standards because that's just going to be a time suck for you. So if you'd like to, go for it, but it really isn't necessary. And then when you're done, you're going to click Share. Then over here, it looks deceiving. It appears that I can import it into another course here. I can't. It also says up here it's going to take as long as 30 minutes. The only time I've had it take more than 3 or 4 minutes is when it was a very large course that was being exported. Otherwise, it's generally done in 2 or 3 minutes. So what I'm going to do now, so that I can get it into my course, or so that my colleagues can get it into theirs, is we go to the Commons. The first time you access Commons, you are going to need to authorize it. So this is what it looks like. You'll notice they've got all of these different colored things up here. These different icons are connected to what kind of resource is that, because you'll see there's over 31,000 different resources up here that different teachers have posted publicly. It also is going to contain your items in there. As you can see, mine is already up here. If we want to see just Delcom's, I can turn that off. This is going to show just things that people at Delcom have made public and just my things, whether they're available or not. So these are just the resources that Delcom teachers have shared within the corporation. So you can see we've got all sorts of different grade levels working on this. So for example, like this is from Royerton's 4th grade, and they've divided it up where different teachers are making different vocabulary quizzes so they can all access them. So you can either search by these different types of assignments, or I could just enter in my last name if it wasn't something that was the first option, and then it's going to show all the different things that I have up here. So you can see here's the different things that I have. So if I click here, now I'm going to come over here. I select which course I want it to go into. So if I want it to go into this fake course, at that point, I can click this. So even though when I imported it to the Commons from my actual course and it had this box over here, I can't really use that. You have to go back over to the Commons, then you just click import it into course, and then if you go click on the modules in that course, you will find it. You can also, in the Commons, if you would like to find things other people have posted. Now, I recommend that you import these into a sandbox or a fake course to preview them, because there are some good things, but there's a lot of not great things on the Commons. So you can go through and you can search. So if I want to see what other people have out there about nouns, I can search, and this is going to give me all of the different things about nouns. So I can go through and I can see maybe I would like to use some of these. So it's kind of like a free teachers pay teachers, but there's far more variation in terms of quality.